Hi there, it's Lucy Johnson here from FullyBookedFormula.com, where we work with fitness, health and wellness professionals that want to get more clients, make more money and dramatically improve the quality of their life in the next 3 to 6 months. And today's video tip is explaining to you how and why you should definitely be raising your prices. One of the biggest objections your potential clients, your prospects will give you when they're telling you why they are not going to work with you or not going to buy your product is to say it's too expensive or I don't have the money. Now, what I want to explain to you about this is in 99.9% of cases, that's not true. What they're saying is really, you haven't yet explained to me, Lucy, how valuable your program is and how much my life is going to change as a result. So whilst I could go and get the money and I could find the money and I could save the money to work with you, really, because I can really afford it deep down, I'm not going to because I don't value what you're offering me enough yet. That's what I can't afford it means in most cases. So here's what I'm going to say. What happens when you raise your prices, even when you have people saying to you they can't afford your services, is they immediately put a higher value on what you're offering. So, you know, sometimes people look at something and if it's what they would describe as cheap in their mind, they don't really believe it's going to work for them. Whereas when something is more expensive, people think, wow, that's expensive, it must be good. So they assume it's going to be a better service and therefore they value it more and therefore they make more of an effort to go and find the money, save the money, borrow the money, loan the money, get the money to go ahead and buy your product or service. So it's really not about money so much as it's about perceived value. Write that down. Perceived value is what you want to make sure people get when they look at your price structure. So if you are trying to undercut your competitors or keep things on the cheap side, you're really not doing yourselves any favors at all. People have to have a high perceived value of you and of what you offer to make the additional effort to find the money, get the money, spend the money to have access to you, your program, your product, your class, whatever it is that you're selling. So that's the first thing I want to make clear. Perceived value is everything, and there's more perceived value in something that costs more because people believe it must be more valuable if it costs more, because we equate high prices with high value. The second thing I want to say is when you sell things too cheap, what happens is, one, you're a bit resentful because you think, well, you know, I sold this to you really cheap and I'm not going to do any more than I have to do for you because you're already getting more than you paid for, really. And then what happens with your clients is they don't become the best clients in the world because they don't really have what my mentor would call skin in the game. They haven't really invested. They haven't paid an amount of money that is significant enough to them that they're bothered to actually get the most out of what you're doing. It's like when you buy something 2 for 1 at the supermarket. Because it's like super cheap, you're not that bothered if you don't eat it all before the sell-by date. You're like, well, half of it was free anyway, chuck it away. No big deal. Whereas when you've bought like the super duper best bottle of wine or best piece of steak, or, you know, you've invested more money than you normally would do in that something from the supermarket. You plan what night you're going to have it. You spend time over preparing it. You make sure it gets eaten. You make sure that you give it the kind of attention and the respect that it deserves. This is exactly what happens for you as well. If you sell things too cheap, people, plain and simple, they won't respect you as much and they won't respect your program as much. So they won't apply themselves to it as much. And because they don't apply themselves to it, they don't get great results, and they don't get great results, so they don't renew, and you're done. When you charge more, people really apply themselves. They really listen because they believe you must be worth it. You must be worth that amount of money. So they go ahead, they listen to you, they come to the sessions, they do the stuff. Because of that, they get great results. You love working with them. They get amazing results. Because they've got amazing results, they refer all their friends, you get more clients, they renew, and everyone is a lot happier. So that is why you should be raising your prices. And the last piece I want to cover, which is how to do it. This is going to sound very flippant, but the way to raise your prices is to just do it. People get very stressed out about, yeah, but how much, what percentage should I raise it by? Listen, just raise your prices. Doesn't matter how much or how little. Pick a number that you feel comfortable that you could say to someone without feeling like you're, excuse my language, taking the piss. You could say the number, you feel you're worth it, just pick that number and go with it. There is absolutely no hidden formula, rhyme or reason about how and when to raise your prices, but just do it. Just do it. Price is very elastic. You can move it up, you can move it down, you can move it down again, then you can move it up again. People expect prices to change, so just raise them, see how you go. These strategies, they work for me all the time. They're working for my clients in their businesses as well, and they can work for you too, as long as you go ahead and do them. So implement these changes into your business this week and let me know how you get on.